It's real! It's real! What's felt like 3 years? I mean, it's literally been 3 years since Switch Pro rumors started. It's finally here. Nintendo has revealed the Switch 2. I'm going to go over, give some context, give some clarity, point out a few things that I've noticed from following along, and some predictions about what I think we'll find on April 2nd. So starting out, they first showed the original Nintendo Switch. When they grow it in size to the Switch 2, you'll notice that the bezels are still pretty big. They're larger bezels than the OLED Switch. The other thing that they started out with was a brand new texture on the console. They show it in detail as the Switch is flipping around, and they have the animation of it being like sandblasted away to reveal a new texture as opposed to the glossy feel of the original Switch. The other thing that they show pretty quickly is the new Joy-Cons, and on the right Joy-Con there's a new button. All the leaks show a C on that button. I saw a lot of news outlets, gaming news outlets, saying that it's confirmed there's no C on the button because Nintendo didn't show it in the trailer. I still think that there's a C on that button. I think in this trailer they didn't put the C on it. I think they just flattened it out. I think we'll find out exactly what it is in that direct on April 2nd. There's some theories floating around. The most common one I see is that it's some sort of chat, social interaction type of thing. I participated in the Nintendo Switch Online play test that they did a few months ago, where your monkey's swinging around building stuff, and there's a lot of social interaction. I've heard a codename Campus that is supposed to be like a Discord type of group chat, voice chat type of thing. I think that whatever this button does, I think it's key to some sort of software or some sort of gimmick that Nintendo just didn't want to showcase yet. The other really cool concept that I've heard, I was discussing this with my girlfriend this morning. I just drove 6 hours from Montreal, by the way. Ugh, I'm tight. She was suggesting, what if it's like a cast option? Take whatever's on your screen and cast it to your dock that can display on the TV. The dock would need some beefier hardware, and then you could have a second screen on the Switch. That would be cool because you could do like Wii U or 3DS or DS games. I saw a lot of people just flat out confirming that there's no more IR camera. In this video, you clearly see a cutout of where that would be, and so I think that's a weird thing to confirm from this video. As they show the Joy-Cons more thoroughly, you can see that they're all black with just accents of the blue and like a salmon color on the inside connectors and underneath the analog sticks, which leads me to think that maybe this is the end of all the wild and wacky colorful Joy-Cons, because also later on you see that the inside of the Switch console itself are color matched to those colors. And then right here is where they show possibly one of the biggest gimmicks of the new console is it looks like they're fully embracing this mouse support that leaked a few weeks ago. And with the new straps that go on to the Joy-Con, they even show the Joy-Cons moving around like they're mice with the straps as tails chasing each other. And so I think that's 100% confirmed. I'm really curious what they're going to do with it. I got excited because I play mouse and keyboard on first-person shooter games, and you're hearing all this stuff about these big AAA titles, a lot of first-person shooters, maybe Call of Duty coming to the Switch too. I'll take a mouse-con, Joy-Con thing. That would be awesome. But I think there's going to be bigger stuff with this. If you have any ideas about what other features besides like Mario Paint, I know everyone's saying Mario Paint is coming back, let me know any other ideas that you think could be used for this mouse feature. Also, something you may have not noticed is that the snap of the Switch is different now. It's more like a clap, which makes sense because the connectors click in magnetically, but it's a little bit lower pitch and it's a different sound. And then they revealed the logo. And this logo has been floating around the internet for about a month. I've seen the Genki video showed it on the dock. I was a little bit skeptical that it was the real logo. I thought it was just a concept like on Reddit or something. But no, it's the real logo. And I don't love it because the Switch logo was so perfectly symmetrical, and now it's like over with just a big 2. I know everyone, like a lot of people were rooting for it to be called the Super Switch or the Super Nintendo Switch. I think that Nintendo has been burned by getting a little too creative with their naming schemes, especially with the Switch 2 being so similar, physically to the Switch. If they called it anything other than the Switch 2, people would be confused and think it's the Switch but a different version of it. And so it had to be called the Switch 2 just for simplicity. And then they showed off what everyone's calling Mario Kart 9. I don't think it's going to be called Mario Kart 9. It might be called Mario Kart 9, but we see the track, the Mario Brothers circuit, and it's like a Western theme, like a southwestern desert. If you notice, the art style is different. It's more like Mario Wonder with the little kind of puffy Mario, and Donkey Kong looks completely different. His face kind of looks like the movie Donkey Kong, but his arms are huge. There's just a lot of stylistic differences in this version of the next Mario Kart. So I'm curious where they go with it. The first thing that you'll notice, though, is that there are spots for 24 carts. And so I don't know if there'll be 24 player online. That would be sick. The track is much wider. So at the very end, they show that the backwards compatibility with Switch 1 games are both digital and physical. So I'm guessing it's going to be like a 3DS with a notch or something physical. Or it could, you put it into a Switch 1 and it says you need a Switch 2 to play this. The other thing that I see people freaking out about is that there's an asterisk that says not all games will be fully supported or work with the Switch 2. I'm guessing that this is more of like an accessory thing. I think it's gonna be like Ring Fit. If you don't have original Joy-Cons, you won't be able to use the ring. Labo won't work. Stuff that needs to integrate with the Joy-Con specifically. This is why they released that separate Joy-Con charging dock a few months ago. I'm sure the old Joy-Cons will be compatible with the new Switch, but you can't charge them on the new Switch. There's not going to be a lot of games that have compatibility issues. So I think people are kind of overreacting to that. Chill out. The other thing that I haven't seen anyone talk about is that they're doing in-person like demonstrations all over the world, and they start like April 4th in New York City, and they're kind of like they're going around so you can get like a hands-on experience with the Switch 2. It's not going to come out until at least June or July or August or September, October, November, December. They're not going to release the console and still be doing like these hands-on previews of the console. We already have to wait like 2.5 months, like 10 weeks before we get to see this direct. Expect to wait another several months before it's actually released. Sorry, I'm in pain too. Was there anything else that you noticed about the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal trailer that shadow dropped this morning at 8 a.m. while I was pooping and I panicked? It was a bad experience. If you have any ideas or speculation, or if you notice something in the trailer, I'll be sure to reply to you. I'm just grateful it's out there. Cheers. Oh, I almost forgot. My new hoodie. Go to shop.tynology.com and you can put in your email address, get notified when my new store launches, and be entered for a chance to win an item of your choice for free on me. This is the first item, but we have like 4 other shirts and hoodies and all sorts of fun stuff coming. Check it out. Shop.tynology.com.